You are about to make a financial decision that could cost you tens of thousands of dollars. Not because you picked a bad trim level, not because you got outmaneuvered at the finance desk, but because the brand you choose, before you even sit in the driver's seat, has already determined how much money you will bleed the moment you pull off that lot. Here is the thing. The average new vehicle in America loses 20% of its value in its very first year of ownership. That is before the first oil change, before the first road trip. But that is the average. Some brands do far better. And some brands, they are financial grenades with leather interiors, hemorrhaging 50, 60, even 72% of their value inside 5 years. The car market right now is splitting into two distinct worlds. On one side, you have brands that protect your investment, brands where the used market stays strong, where owner loyalty runs almost cult deep, and where you can walk into any trade-in desk 3 years from now and still negotiate from a position of real financial strength. On the other side, you have brands quietly drowning in inventory glut, desperate dealer incentives, and collapsing resale floors. And the closer sitting across from you at that dealership will never breathe a word of it. And get this, the finance manager will not pull up a depreciation curve before asking for your signature. The salesperson will not mention that this brand's 5-year residual value is sitting below 40%. You are expected to discover all of that later when you check your remaining loan balance, look up your trade-in value, and the number on the screen is higher than what the car is actually worth. Today, we are doing what dealerships refuse to do. We are delivering data-backed truth on 3 brands that are quietly destroying owner equity in 2026, and 6 brands that are building it. Stick around until the end. The 6th value brand is the one almost nobody in the mainstream conversation is discussing right now, and it might be the most counterintuitive smart buy of the year. Part 1. 3 brands to avoid. Brand 1. Jaguar. There was a time, genuinely not that long ago, when the Jaguar badge carried real weight. British engineering, graceful performance, an identity that stood apart from everything else on the road. In 2018, Jaguar moved over 180,833 vehicles globally. The brand had momentum, recognition, and a loyal enthusiast base built over generations. And then it lit all of that on fire. By fiscal year 24/25, Jaguar's global sales had cratered to just 26,862 units. That is an 85% freefall in less than 7 years. In Europe, one of its most historically important markets, the numbers became genuinely unprecedented. In April of 2025, Jaguar registered exactly 49 vehicles across the entire continent. The same month in 2024, that figure was 1,961. That is a 97.5% year-over-year collapse. The real kicker is what drove this. In late 2024, Jaguar executed a rebrand so aggressively polarizing it generated global headlines for all the wrong reasons. The company abandoned its performance heritage, severed ties with its traditional buyer base, and built an identity campaign around the slogan, "Copy nothing." Traditional Jaguar buyers walked. The new buyers they were targeting never showed up. And in May of 2025, Jaguar recorded 0 sales in Europe. Not low sales, 0. Translation: a brand with no product on the floor, no loyalty left in its remaining base, and no proven path to rebuilding either cannot hold a resale value. The Jaguar I-Pace already loses 72.2% of its value over 5 years, the worst 5-year depreciation figure in its segment. On a car stickering above $70,000, that is over $51,000 evaporating from your investment. That is not ownership. That is a subscription to financial pain. Bottom line, Jaguar is not navigating a rough patch. It is in palliative care dressed up as a rebrand. Until its new electric lineup arrives, earns buyer trust, and rebuilds from the ground up, which is a multi-year process at absolute minimum, this badge is a money pit dressed in premium stitching. Walk away. But if you think Jaguar is a cautionary tale, wait until you see the next brand, because this one is sitting on used lots in every city in America, and most buyers have no idea what they are signing up for. Brand 2. Nissan. Nissan used to own the mainstream value segment. The Altima spent years as a top 5 bestseller in America. The Rogue helped define the affordable family crossover market. And then came the CVT, the continuously variable transmission that Nissan leaned on harder and longer than any other mainstream automaker, and quietly destroyed the brand's resale credibility in the process. Here is the thing. The CVT trust crisis created a perception problem that the data confirms is far from resolved. The Altima loses 57% of its value in 5 years. The Rogue drops 58%. The Armada, a full-size SUV that starts near $60,000, hemorrhages 62% of its value over that same window. On that $60,000 flagship, you are looking at losing over $30,000 in value alone, with the steepest drops arriving in years 1 and 2. And get this, Nissan's heavy reliance on rental fleet sales has compounded the resale damage in a way most buyers never anticipate. Fleet placements flood the used car market with high mileage, aggressively discounted inventory that competes directly against your privately owned vehicle at trade-in. When a buyer can source a 3-year-old Rogue out of a rental auction for under $13,000, the certified pre-owned pricing on your privately maintained Rogue collapses right along with it. S&P Global's 2025 industry forecast confirmed what auction data already showed. Nissan faces broad declines in 2026, driven by accelerating market share erosion in key Asian markets from Chinese competitors, and a restructuring program that is pushing operating expenses higher in the short term rather than lower. Translation: you are paying retail for a brand that is actively discounting itself to hold volume. That depreciation curve does not care how well you maintain the car. It is going to find you at trade-in time regardless. Bottom line, Nissan is not worthless, but it is a resale value dinosaur, a brand mid-restructure that smart equity-conscious buyers should wait on before betting their money on the badge. Smash that like button if this is already saving you real money, because we are not even through the avoid list yet. Brand 3, Lincoln. The commercials were smooth. Too bad the residual values are not. Lincoln is Ford's luxury arm, and on paper it should compete. The Aviator is a well-designed SUV. The Nautilus is polished and refined. The Navigator is one of the most convincingly premium large luxury vehicles in its class. But here is where it gets truly damaging. CarEdge data tracks Lincoln depreciating 67.2% by year 7. But the deeper issue is structural. Lincoln has leaned heavily on rental fleet placements to pad volume, and when a brand's secondary market is dominated by rental returns, the used car pricing floor collapses because the market is overwhelmed with competing supply. That dynamic does not reverse itself in a model cycle. It takes years. Lincoln's shrinking market share has compounded the problem from the demand side, declining new car sales. Translate into declining used car demand, which translates directly into lower trade-in prices for every existing owner. And the $100,000 Navigator, the brand's flagship halo vehicle, has been documented trading for barely $55,000 after just 1 year of ownership. That is a 45% value wipeout on a premium flagship in 12 months. The real kicker is Lincoln's identity problem. The brand cannot commit to a clear position, caught between chasing Cadillac's domestic prestige, competing with Mercedes-Benz on refinement, and appealing to a lifestyle buyer who already has 15 other options. In this market, brands that try to be everything for everyone hold value like brands that stand for absolutely nothing. Bottom line, Lincoln is comfortable to drive and genuinely painful to own from an investment standpoint. It ranks near the bottom of all major residual value analyses by year 7. If resale is any part of your decision criteria, Lincoln is not where you park your money. Now that you know what to run from, here is exactly what to run toward. Part 2. 6 brands that actually hold their value. Brand. 1. Toyota. This is not a surprise, but it demands to be said with the actual data in front of you, because too many buyers still overlook it in favor of something with a flashier badge or a more aggressive dealer incentive stack. Toyota is the undisputed gold standard of resale value, and it is not remotely close. CarEdge ranks Toyota number 1 for 5-year brand residual value at 64.9%. Consumer Reports ranks it number 1 for predicted new car reliability with a score of 66 out of 100. The Tacoma retains 78.4% of its value after 5 years, one of the highest figures of any vehicle in the entire market. The 4Runner holds 74.9%. Kelley Blue Book awarded the Tacoma the top position in its 2026 best resale value rankings with a 5-year residual of 63%. And get this, Toyota does not achieve these numbers through marketing spend or loyalty incentives. The company operates on a product development philosophy the industry quietly calls bulletproof engineering, slow, deliberate platform evolution that prioritizes long-term mechanical reliability over short-cycle tech turnover. While competitors rush half-developed hybrid systems to market to chase headlines, Toyota is refining powertrains designed to comfortably clear 250,000 miles. Translation: when you buy Toyota, you are not just buying transportation, you are buying a financial instrument that holds its value better than almost any other mass-market vehicle on 4 wheels. Bottom line, Toyota is the industry's North Star for resale value and has held that position for over 2 decades. If you are starting your search from scratch, this is where the conversation begins. But if you think Toyota is impressive, the next brand takes owner loyalty to a completely different level. Brand 2, Subaru. Subaru does not spend billions on celebrity endorsements. It does not run Super Bowl campaigns. What it does is manufacture a loyalty dynamic that keeps used car values remarkably consistent across every economic cycle. CarEdge ranks Subaru number 2 for 5-year brand residual value at 61.2%. The BRZ holds 76.4% of its value after 5 years, a sports coupe competing head-to-head with mainstream practicality vehicles at the very top of the retention chart. The Outback, Forester, and Crosstrek consistently rank above segment averages for resale because used Subaru demand simply does not soften. Here is the thing. Subaru's standard all-wheel drive across nearly its entire lineup creates real-world utility that sustains demand in any market condition. In winter states, a clean used Subaru is not competing with other used Subarus. It is competing with everything on the lot and winning. Certified pre-owned pricing stays competitive, auction floor prices remain strong, and low-mileage examples rarely sit on dealer lots long enough to show up on inventory reports. The real kicker is the community. Subaru owners do not just repurchase the brand, they recruit other buyers into it. In the used car market, that kind of word-of-mouth demand engine translates directly into residual value strength that no marketing budget alone can manufacture. Bottom line, Subaru is not glamorous, but from a resale standpoint, it is one of the most bulletproof bets in the entire mainstream market. Brand 3. Honda. Honda built its entire brand reputation on one foundational concept: reliability. And unlike a long list of automakers where that word has softened into a marketing slogan, Honda has backed it up with engineering and real-world ownership data for decades. CarEdge ranks Honda number 3 for 5-year brand residual value at 60.5%. The Civic and the CR-V are perennial leaders in their respective segments for value retention. Used CR-Vs average below 30 days on dealer lots in most markets, a consistent signal of sustained demand that props up both trade-in and private resale values across model years. And get this. Honda's engineering discipline is the structural backbone of this resale strength. The brand's platform architecture is designed for multi-cycle durability. The VTEC engine family, Honda's thermal management systems, and a conservative approach to technology integration, one that prioritizes longevity over novelty, all combine to lower total ownership costs and keep Honda's desirable well into high-mileage territory. Translation: a Honda at 150,000 miles is not a liability. For a smart used buyer, it is an asset. That perception, built over generations of ownership experience, is exactly what sustains Honda's residual values regardless of what the broader market is doing. Bottom line, Honda is the workmanlike champion of resale value, rarely flashy, almost never disappointing. Brand 4. Mazda. Mazda is the single biggest under-the-radar value story in the mainstream market right now. For years, the brand was dismissed as the more stylish alternative to Toyota's lower trim levels. What buyers consistently missed is that Mazda has been quietly assembling one of the strongest ownership value cases in the entire industry. CarEdge ranks Mazda number 4 for 5-year brand residual value at 59.7%, and that ranking has been climbing consistently across all 3 measurement periods. The CX-5 and the Mazda 3 hatchback are top performers in long-term owner satisfaction. And in J.D. Power's 2025 Vehicle Dependability Study, Mazda ranked second in the mass market segment with a score of 161 problems per 100 vehicles, a dramatic improvement from where the brand stood just 3 years prior. Here is the thing. Mazda's Sky-Activ platform architecture is genuinely impressive engineering at its price point. The brand builds cars that prioritize driving dynamics and long-term mechanical integrity over the flashy, screen-heavy cabin packages competitors use to justify sticker prices. And as those competitor tech packages age and generate expensive repair bills, Mazda's more durable approach looks smarter every single year. Drop your answer in the comments right now. If you already own a Mazda, what year and model are you driving? I want to see how many of you are already ahead of this curve. The real kicker is total cost of ownership. Between strong residuals, below-average maintenance costs, and rising reliability scores, Mazda owners consistently outperform comparable buyers over any 5-year window. Bottom line, Mazda is the gold standard of value you did not see coming, and the market is catching up fast. Brand 5. Ram is on this list for one central reason. Trucks hold value like almost nothing else in the consumer vehicle market. And within the truck segment, Ram is building one of the most compelling resale cases of any brand at any price point. CarEdge ranks Ram number 5 for 5-year brand residual value at 59.5%. The Ram 3500 holds 74.8% of its residual value after 5 years, placing it in the top 10 vehicles in the entire market across all categories. Even the lighter-duty Ram lineup consistently trades above segment averages at auction and at dealership trade-in counters. And get this, Ram's investments in interior quality, particularly on higher trim levels, combined with class-leading towing technology, available Cummins diesel powertrains, and the brand's multi-link rear suspension system have repositioned it from a pure work tool to a lifestyle vehicle that sacrifices zero capability. That crossover appeal drives new sales and sustained used demand simultaneously. Here is the thing. Trucks are uniquely inflation-resistant assets. When household budgets tighten, buyers downsize out of sedans. They trade out of crossovers, but they hold on to trucks, and they buy used trucks instead of new ones. That cycle-resistant demand is exactly why the Ram lineup sits near the top of residual value rankings year after year without exception. Translation: a well-maintained Ram pickup is one of the only consumer vehicles most buyers will ever own that you can genuinely think of as an investment, not just an inevitable depreciation event. Bottom line, if you are in the market for a truck, Ram is competing at the very top of the value retention game right now. Brand 6? Porsche. Here is the entry nobody sees coming, and it is the most counterintuitive data story on this entire list. Porsche is a luxury brand. Luxury means depreciation, that is, the rule. The 911 did not get that memo. Kelley Blue Book ranks the Porsche 911 at a 5-year resale value of 53.9% for 2026, extraordinary for any vehicle above $100,000, and frankly remarkable for a European luxury manufacturer in a space where competitors regularly hemorrhage 60 to 70% of their value. CarBuzz data goes further, showing the 911 Cabriolet retaining 73.7% of its original value over 5 years. Meanwhile, the BMW 7 Series is hemorrhaging 67% of its value in the same window. The Audi A8 is losing 62.7%. The 911 is sitting comfortably above both of them, holding well over half its purchase price across model years. Here is the thing. Porsche achieved this through absolute product discipline. The brand does not flood the market with discount-motivated trim proliferation. It does not place vehicles in rental fleets. It does not run end-of-quarter incentive programs to hit volume targets. Porsche inventory days on lot are consistently among the lowest in the entire luxury segment, meaning when a 911 surfaces in the used market, it sells fast and at a strong price. Supply discipline is the foundation of everything. The real kicker is 6 decades of cult-like buyer loyalty. 911 drivers do not just own the car, they return to it. They pass it down. They build a driving identity around it for life. In the resale market, that generation-spanning loyalty translates directly into strong auction floor prices and above-average certified pre-owned performance that holds across every model generation. Translation: for buyers in the luxury performance segment who are serious about what their car will be worth 5 years from now, Porsche is not just the smart choice, it is the only logical choice. Bottom line, Porsche is the industry's North Star for luxury, resale, and the most powerful proof in the market that premium engineering and premium long-term value are not in conflict, provided the brand has the discipline to earn it. The car market right now is a minefield, but now you know exactly where the explosives are buried and where the solid ground is. 3 brands are quietly draining the equity out of buyers who did not do their homework. Jaguar is in a Category 5 corporate crisis, burning through cash, cultural credibility, and buyer trust all at once, with a sales collapse that has no modern equivalent in the premium segment. Nissan is still paying the full price for a decade of CVT over-reliance and aggressive fleet flooding, a structural resale problem that 2026 data confirms is far from resolved. And Lincoln is a genuinely capable luxury brand trapped inside a rental fleet resale nightmare that no amount of Matthew McConaughey commercials has been able to overcome. On the other side, 6 brands are standing out for precisely the right reasons. And they are doing it with data, not marketing promises. Toyota leads the entire market and has done so for over 2 decades. Subaru's owner loyalty keeps used car values buoyant regardless of what the broader economy is doing. Honda's engineering discipline rewards patient buyers with one of the lowest total cost of ownership profiles in the mainstream segment. Mazda is the sleeper value story that your dealership will never lead with, because they would rather move metal with bigger margins. Ram's trucks hold value in ways that genuinely defy economic cycles, one of the only consumer vehicles that functions as a real financial asset. And Porsche proves, with 5 decades of data behind it, that premium engineering and premium residual value are not in conflict, as long as the brand has the discipline to refuse the shortcuts. Here is the final piece of wisdom that will save you more money than anything else in this video. When you walk onto a dealer lot, do not ask about the monthly payment first. Do not ask about financing specials or end-of-month incentives. Ask one question instead: what is this brand's 5-year residual value? Ask what inventory days on lot look like for this model in the used market right now. Ask what similar examples are selling for at auction. That single habit, using depreciation data and residual value as your primary filter before you fall in love with a car, will protect more of your wealth over a lifetime than any negotiating tactic you have ever learned, any dealer trick you have ever seen exposed, or any finance office game you have ever walked away from. Because here is the truth: the dealership is counting on you not knowing. The most expensive mistake in car buying is not the price you pay on day one, it is the value you lose every single day you own the wrong brand. Hit subscribe if you want the truth about automotive value in 2026, because the dealers are absolutely counting on you not knowing this, and now you do.